Hello, dear little ones. Welcome to dive into Pooja's books, where we see what amount of knowledge book reading can bring to us. So, today it's a beautiful morning, and I'm sitting in front of all these colorful flowers. So, you know that today we are going to learn about flowers. Flowers, the colorful flowers which are everywhere. So, today we will see many questions. We'll answer many questions like flowers to honey, flowers to fruit, flowers to seeds, flowers to fragrance. So stay tuned and let's get started. Before we start, thank you so much for liking my videos, and yes, don't forget to subscribe. So let's see. What are flowers? To most humans, flowers are seen as objects to decorate their homes, gardens, bodies, and more. However, flowers have a much more important purpose than decorating. Flowers are the part of plants that make seeds, which in turn make new plants. And there are so many more interesting facts about flowers, which we will see. So you might have seen flowers everywhere, in cold weather, in hot weather, in rainy weather, which you might have seen in your homes to decorate it, to use the perfumes. So let's check out some seasonal flowers. So in spring, mostly you can see tulips or cherry blossoms. In summer, you'll see these beautiful roses or daisy. In autumn, you might see the sunflower, the chrysanthemum, and in winter, you might see the violets or the camellia. Most plants have flowers. Some flowers are tiny, some flowers are large. Some plants grow only one flower, some plants can grow many flowers like the bluebells. So the flowers, they grow inside the buds. As you see in this rose plant, see, this is a small little bud. So a bud, it has tough green leaves that is like a closed ball to protect the flowers. These leaves are called sepals. Now as a flower grows, the sepals, you see here, they start to separate and then move apart, and then the flowers open up. So this flower inside the bud, now this has leaves which are called petals. You see these yellow petals of the rose? So petals, they protect the inside parts of the flowers. Petals are often of the bright colors. So many flowers, they smell sweet. Bright petals and the sweet smell of the flowers, they attract the birds and insects to the flowers. Nectar is a sweet liquid found inside the flowers. Bees, they collect the nectar to make honey. Let's check out this interesting video where we see the bees, how they are collecting the nectar with their straw from the flowers. Let's see the interesting process of how the honey is made. So the bees, they fly from flower to flower. They are looking for nectar. Bees have a tongue that is like a straw. They suck up nectar with their long tongues. The bees, they take the nectar to their home. A bee's home is its hive. The bees pass the nectar to other bees inside the hive. The wooden hives in this picture, they were built by people. The bees put the nectar into a honeycomb. The honeycomb is made of wax. It has many holes in it. Bees fill each hole with nectar. The nectar dries, it turns into honey. Then a beekeeper is a person who raises bees for their honey. The beekeeper takes the honeycomb out of the hive. A beekeeper wears special clothing to protect from bee stings. The beekeeper puts the honeycomb into a machine that spins. The spinning squeezes the honey out of the honeycomb. The beekeeper drains the honey to remove bits of honeycomb. Then the honey is poured into jars. Workers load the honey onto a truck. The truck takes the honey to grocery stores. People buy the honey and take it home. Finally, the honey is ready to eat. It makes the food taste sweet. It even tastes good all itself. So bees are the only insects that give us food, which is honey. Some birds like the hummingbirds, they have long beaks and they also drink the nectar inside the flowers. Let's now check out the other interesting process of flowers to seeds. This process is called pollination. Now, in order to make a seed, pollen from one flower has to combine with the eggs from another flower. This is called pollination. Flowers are highly adapted to attract their specific pollinators, such as bees, flies, moths, hummingbirds, and bats, just to name a few. This is why flowers are brightly colored and highly scented to make their pollinators attract. So how does the pollination work? Let's see. Pollen is also found inside the flowers, which is often yellow. It looks like the yellow dust. A flower needs pollen from another flower of same kind to make seeds. Plants cannot move from place to place. They depend on their pollinators like the insects and birds to bring them the pollen to make the new seeds. Birds and insects can move pollen to another flowers. The pollen sticks to their bodies. When they land on a flower, the pollen rubs onto another flower as the bird or insect moves from plant to plant. Pollen can also be blown through wind. Wind can also spread it. It blows flowers and moves their pollen to other flowers. So these seeds, they fall from flowers to the ground. They are also blown by the wind. And finally, new plants or new flowers will grow from these seeds. So this is how the reproduction process happens. So you see, the bees and the flowers, they are so important for the reproduction of the plants. And then finally, the animals, they depend on the plants for their food. So this is how the whole cycle happens. So you see, the insects, they are so important for the world, for the reproduction of the plants, and even the flowers play a major role in it. Another interesting fact now, from flowers to fruits. Flowers of some plants like the apples, watermelon, they turn into fruits. The seeds of these plants, they are found inside the fruit. The fruit protects the seeds. Apples are a fruit that grow from flowers on an apple tree. Apples have seeds inside them. When apples fall to the ground, the fruit rots away. The seed then grow into new apple trees. How important flowers are for us. The fact about flowers is that without them, we would not have the food, medicines, dyes, textiles, perfumes, and other necessities of daily living. Let us now hear some interesting facts about them. Flowers did not always exist. They first appeared 140 million years ago. Remember, we saw in the dinosaur video in Dive into Pooja's books? Before that, ferns and cones bearing trees dominated the earth. Another fact, several centuries ago in Holland, tulips were more valuable than gold. So you can see here the beautiful tulip garden in Amsterdam, which people or the tourists, they visit every year in huge numbers. Broccoli is actually a flower. Some plants such as orchids do not need soil to grow. They get all their nutrients from their air. So these are indoor flowers which you can use for indoor decoration, and they just have all their nutrients from air. Interesting fact. Some plants, they produce toxic substances that kill another plants around them. The sunflower is one of the examples. So let's now end this interesting journey of flowers with a short story. So there was a cat and a mouse. They were talking to each other. The cat asked, "Why do the flowers grow?" Then they went to the dog to ask the same question. Why do the flowers grow? None of them had an answer. They went to their another friend. They went to the fox. They think it's wise. They asked, why do the flowers grow? He also did not have an answer. Finally, they went to a mole. He said, why do the flowers grow? The mole said smilingly, for me to eat. The other friends, they were not very happy with the answer. So they went to the bees and the butterflies to ask, why do the flowers grow? The butterfly said, very happily, the flowers grow for me to eat the sweet nectar inside it. The bee said, no, it's for me. It gives me the pollens. So there was a girl passing by who was listening to all of this. The girl said, no, no, no. The flowers grow because they look so pretty and colorful and they uplift your mood. I feel really happy to see the colorful flowers. So the old lady who was sitting and listening to all the conversation, she said, no, no, no. The flowers grow for their fragrance. I feel really nice to smell the flowers. And then she also explained them that the main role of the flowers is to give you the seeds for the reproduction. So this is how the story ended. They finally knew what are flowers for. Exactly, now you know what are flowers for. I hope you liked this interesting journey of flowers. If you liked it, please press the like button and watch such more interesting videos and dive into Pooja's books. And let me know how you like them. Please subscribe and share to other kids. See you. Bye-bye.